Am I the asshole for making a real-life Pokédex of girls at my university?
Oh! No! This isn't what I thought it was. This is so much work.
Expert in fucking, I don't know.
Great power.
For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? Welcome to Reddit on Wiki, where we scour Reddit in search of some of the wildest stories the internet has to offer. My name is Josh Shell, and joined with me are my usual co-hosts, John Consignato and Sean Salvino. What's up, boys?
Assholes. No, this is not the ASMR.
Oh.
Yeah, you do this every episode of mine now, and it's just ruining my episodes.
Asshole. Jesus Christ. Hi, Josh.
And joined with my one co-host, Sean Salvino.
You can't cut me out, baby.
There you go. We can just make you mad enough to go raise your voice.
We'll get Patrick.
Oh, good luck to us.
Will he show up?
Oh, man.
Shout out, Patrick.
Shout out, Patrick. Patron.
We love him.
Patron, man.
Hell yeah.
It's a real homie. Ryan and Chris, what the fuck? You got to pay me,
Yeah, what
bitch.
the hell? To be fair, Patrick is the better co-host.
To be fair, it's the truth.
Chris and Ryan show up every week, so they record with you. So.
Everybody has their pros and cons, but if you know me, you know my ultimate pro. And Chris and Ryan aren't doing it.
Complimenting you?
No, money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on, man. It's the almighty dollar.
It was one of those two things.
I do love I did do my, I recently did, we're trying to avoid this type of energy right now. But real quick, I did my love languages thing recently. And I think words of affirmation and quality time are tied for top
I'm surprised
one, I
gifts
guess.
wasn't on there.
Surprisingly, gifts
do have
pretty
money.
low. Gifts are pretty low.
What?
The words of affirmation and the quality time were number one.
Yeah.
And I was
That
like,
makes sense.
I do like a compliment, I think.
Well, Sean, you look amazing today.
Wow. Oh my God.
John, you look really good. You got your professional outfit on right now.
Oh, thank you. I just came from work, so
Yeah.
Thank you.
Live at home and work.
And look fantastic every day. We're just three good-looking dudes.
You know,
We'd love to hear it.
whatever flavor you're craving this day, like we probably got it for you.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's hop into some of the stories. So on today's
And
episode,
something else.
and no. There's the stories. On today's episode, we have a husband who wants to be paid for babysitting.
Oh, asshole.
Real life Pokemon goes wrong.
Hell yeah. Well,
Oh, wait.
you had me in the first half. I was like, oh yeah.
You're taking a Pikachu in a bad way or what?
It's pretty bad.
They tried to electrocute a mouse to try and make a Pikachu.
Oh God, am I the asshole?
Yeah. Yes. You're fucking
That's serial
a
killer
maniac.
vibe.
Yeah. You should be locked up.
I know they're going on about this, Wikimaniacs. That is not the story at all. So just ignore that. We also have a boyfriend who loses it after another guy sees his girlfriend naked. A listener has a childish date, and OP shows up to an ex's wedding. After those ones, we have our Patreon exclusive stories like we do every Friday. Where we have OP
for the non.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're implying. Josh,
Someone commented that on our Patreon, by the way. That shit made me laugh.
What they comment? Sorry.
Someone put on the Patreon. I know I'm very late for this episode, but the comments about patrons being rich crack me up because I'm literally broke right now.
Oh God, don't go poor for us.
Yeah, definitely not. Unless we've saved your life, like somehow. I'm just kidding. That was truly like one of the nicest thing anybody said, and I'm making jokes about it because I love it.
Someone make a merch for that. Pay your heroes.
Pay your heroes.
So for our Patreon exclusive stories, we have an OP who high fives a stranger, and we have a husband who misses a gender reveal, which is a throwback to our original viral video. It's not the same, but it's similar enough.
Can you believe that's almost been a year?
I know.
Since that viral video
I think it
happened?
literally was a year when we recorded that episode.
Really?
Because I think it was in January we did it. And then I just
Crazy.
posted on TikTok in late
Like
February.
March?
Yeah, March.
Holy.
Yeah,
Damn.
crazy, eh?
Wild.
So if you want to hear those last two stories and get ad-free episodes, head on over to patreon.com/cultivate the podcast network. Sign up today. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe, share this podcast with a friend, give us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Everything else is in the show notes. Click them and we'll hop into the stories unless there's something you guys want to address.
Nothing for me.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
Hopping in then. So this one cross-posted by user Disney Can't Stop Me, which I don't know if that's true. I think they
The
can
prices
absolutely.
stopped me for a while.
I think they own
I could not
everything.
afford to go to Disney World anymore. Holy
Pretty
shit,
sure they
that
will
was
send a
expensive.
mouse out after you, and he will get you.
Oh, funny story. The original design of Mickey Mouse is public domain now. Because once something passes 100 years of trademark or copyright or whatever, it becomes free
something like that.
domain, something like that. So
Hell yeah.
feel free to use Mickey Mouse for your own monetary gain.
I want John's face on Mickey Mouse as merch now.
Why?
We can sell Disney
Short.
shirts now, guys.
We can, and then we'll pick different characters. I don't know what other characters we should pick, but
Whoever else
wanna
is
be
free
Goofy.
domain. No, Goofy's too tall. Goofy's too tall, bud.
Oh, yeah, he is tall. I'll be
tall.
Donald then.
no, you're already Mickey.
No.
No, the white man has to be Mickey. He has
Yeah,
these.
because
you're-
He's the president.
I'll be Donald.
We're
I'll
gonna
be
move
Minnie.
on. So it's posted
You know the
by
vibes.
cross-posted by Disney Can't Stop Me, and it's titled.
What else is Minnie?
Some might call it micro, but we'll move on.
Am I the asshole for wanting to be paid for babysitting my own daughter?
Yeah, fool. The fuck?
Moving on to our second story. Yeah, that's a good prediction. With yes. I don't know if we need to say more. I'm just going to hop into the story. And
Yeah, I'm interested to see if I could be swayed on this one.
Okay. So, my 39 male wife, 34 female, and I live in a suburban house with our daughter, 10-year-old female, Emily. Our neighbor next door, 48, Walter, is a single father with 2 daughters, 14 female and 12 female. We have been living here for a little more than 2 years. My wife really likes watching scary movies, but I have never enjoyed them. I get too scared and end up having a bad time, so I prefer to avoid them. Her friends sometimes go with her to more popular ones, but she likes older, indie, and foreign horror movies.
Yo, those foreign ones?
They be
Scary.
They be scary.
Holy-
Yo, specifically like Korean and Japanese scary
Yeah.
movies. I know they have like a what's the word I'm thinking of? Stereotype, or like they're known to be scarier than American
Yeah.
scary movies.
They're horrifying.
I don't watch them, but I've heard.
We recently tried to watch The Last of Us, and
I'm so
too
excited
scary
for that. I played that
too
game.
scary for Sienna.
amazing. I played the game. Did any of y'all play the game?
Yeah, I
No,
played
I
the
did
first
not.
one.
So good.
So good.
Goddamn. I mean, it's a good show so far, but like I said, we stopped halfway.
Was it the clicking?
We didn't even get to that part yet.
Oh, okay.
I think. Sienna really hates scary movies, which fair
You know,
enough.
I feel it. I understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't. Yeah, my wife
don't fuck
hates
with it.
scary movies.
I'll have to watch it by myself sometime.
You want to watch together, Justin?
Yeah, we'll do a watch party.
Yeah, with Sean though. It has to be Sean in here.
Yeah.
Too.
Hey, I like the game, so
Okay.
I'm sure I'll
Yeah, you
like
might
the
be
show.
okay.
I heard it's pretty accurate.
Okay, so my wife likes foreign horror movies. She has always had a hard time finding people that have this niche interest. That is why it was such a big deal when we met Walter and found out he shares this tendency. They very quickly started to make plans to watch movies together. I was invited to be part of it, but I always refused. I prefer to just stay at home babysitting Emily and Walter's daughters while they are in cinephile reunions. Sometimes they go to the movie theaters, but other times they just stay at Walter's place watching stuff at his home cinema. They usually have to go to another town in order to catch a specific function of some weird movie, so it's normal for them to come back very late. They eventually started doing stuff outside of watching movies, like going out for dinner. Walter invited all of us, including the kids, to go with him to the restaurant that a friend of his owned, but I said no because it was too expensive. I didn't like those kinds of places because I feel they are a waste of money, and I didn't think the kids would enjoy it either. I insisted on staying with the kids and let the two of them go be themselves. This has become a regular thing, and it's a good deal for me because Walter pays for my wife's dinner, and she can no longer complain about me not taking her to fancy dinners.
Hey.
As both their movie and dinner nights had become so common, I have grown a little tired of the burden of constantly babysitting the girls. I talked to my wife and Walter about it, and he explained that he usually does not like leaving his daughters with babysitters. He says he's really comfortable knowing that they are being watched by an experienced father like myself, instead of some teenage girl. He nevertheless agreed that it was too much of a load for me and offered to start paying me standard babysitting fees every time he goes out with my wife. I thought that was a fair approach to the issue, but my wife was fully against it. She says I should not be paid for babysitting my own daughter, nor the daughters of the close friend of our family like Walter. We have been arguing about this, but she insists on this notion and is not open to change. She even gets mad every time I talk to her about this. Walter promises me that he will convince her, but he does not seem to have been able to do so either. Am I the asshole?
Ooh, I'm kind of conflicted. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking just pure on its head. If Walter wants to pay you to watch the kids, he should pay you. You're not getting paid to watch your daughter. You could watch your daughter on yourself and he could get a babysitter and you're not asking for his money. He's paying for you to watch his daughters. But here's where I can see why the wife is mad. If he's just known for being fucking cheap, like this could just be the final, like, oh, this is so embarrassing that you can't just fucking watch the kids. You being like, oh, it's a win for me because I don't have to take my wife out to fancy dinners. It feels like if your wife enjoys fancy dinners, then you should take her to fancy dinners. It doesn't have to be like all the fucking time, but like you should make it a point to, you know, treat your wife. You know what I mean? So like my context clues and the vibe I get from this is that like he's overall is always kind of cheap and like this is the last straw and everything is it's like embarrassing for her.
That's the vibe I got too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer purely the question. Sean kind of alluded to it already. If he's asking if he's an asshole for wanting to get compensated for watching the kid, I'd say not like their kid. I'm talking about like Walter's kid.
The other kids.
I'm going to say no, he's not an asshole. Because, you know, like, and plus Walter offered.
Yeah.
And he insisted that like, hey, I'm cool with this. And it's a fair ask. So on that part, I'm like, no, that's fair. Because, you know, watching someone else's kid, if you're not comfortable doing that, unless you know, there's a monetary involvement, that's fine. But Sean already said it best. To me, I think in a way you're benefiting for watching your kid because you refuse to take your wife to do all these activities that she loves to do. Yeah. In a way, you're kind of being compensated for not having to pay for your wife to do those such things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he's paying for his wife to have dinner and stuff like that. So it's like he's kind of already compensating you. So not you specifically, but like your family.
Your family.
Yeah. Right. So for me, I'm gonna go not the asshole for wanting to get paid to babysit, but giving me like there's people who are cheap. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm kind of cheap person myself, but not to that extent where like I'll let another person like treat my family like that in a way where it's like that's my responsibility at times, or like vice versa. But yeah.
I'd already be embarrassed that like if I'm the wife, I'd already be embarrassed that I'm not at least going like you take this meal, I'll take the other meal, like just full on accepting this guy's charity, and then on top of that being paid for the babysit. Like that does seem pretty fucked up if I'm on the wife's side. But again, I think it's just your overall not wanting to pay for things and being, you know, you could definitely be frugal and like be cheap about certain things because I am. But like at certain times, you know, you gotta. If your wife or partner or whoever makes it known like this is something they really enjoy doing, you should make it a point to try and do those things for your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also going to add that he's a lot more close-minded more than anything, to be honest, because it seems like he's saying all these things that they do is expensive. But I'm getting the vibe that the wife and Walter has this feeling where it's like, hey, we want to invite you to these things. And if he wanted to go and money was an issue, I think they have the capability of changing it up, you know, so they accommodate him. But he's just so close-minded and say, like, I don't want to do these things. I don't want to do these activities with you. Therefore, do whatever the hell you want.
Because they even invited over to Walter's house to just watch.
Right. They could just do that and watch a movie at the house. Right.
Yeah.
And also, getting asked to get paid, these kids are what, 10 to 14?
They're
watching themselves. They're watching themselves, to be honest. You're in another room and you're wanting to get paid for them being, you know, playing by themselves. They're fine. They have a teenager there.
It's just a play date at that point. Yeah. So there is one, I agree with most of what you guys said. I think, being compensated for like babysitting in a vacuum. Yeah, that's not an asshole move, but everything on top of that is what makes you an asshole. Many people, and I'm surprised you guys did not hit on this. You guys might be better people than me and some of our Wikimaniacs, but Lazy VB Bra commented below and said, would not be surprised if the wife is already with Walter on the side. And that's where my mind went. I was like, you know, if they're going out this much and he's actually doing and treating her well, maybe they're, you know.
I thought about it in passing, but then I was like, you know, you could have platonic friendships like
you can.
This.
Right.
Absolutely.
And, you know, at this point, I don't think it's crossing a line, but I think you are feeding into that by being so unwilling to pay for dinners and being so ready to accept his money and just all around being like, kind of a Debbie Downer. But I do think, you know, if they were already doing that stuff, I don't know if they'd be like always inviting him all the time. Unless they know that he says no all the time. They're like, well, fuck him, invite him. That's how we keep the charade up.
We have an out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what stopped me from completely thinking that there's already an affair happening. It's the effort that they're always like, hey, would you like to go? And he's always saying no. Maybe they know that he's always saying no.
Could be. Or and it could work in the sense where she's like, well, I always invite him and he always says no. This sucks. Walter's actually going out with me. I appreciate that. And he's taking me on dates and nice dinners. Sounds like she should be with Walter, to be honest.
They share the same interests.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
So I would not be surprised, but I guess we won't make that assumption too early. No.
Yeah, I want to say you could have platonic friends. But also, yeah, having him always pay does seem kind of sus.
Yeah.
Unless he just knows that you can't afford it and he enjoys having like a friend to enjoy these things with. Like for me, I have friends that like wrestling, sort of, but they don't want to pay for tickets. So I buy fucking cheap seats for everybody and we watch wrestling for my own enjoyment. I pay for them because I want to enjoy that moment with them. And I'm not trying to fuck them. You know what I mean? Just platonic friends.
Take me?
Chris is listening like, God damn it.
I've been wasting 20 years of my life. This guy doesn't want to fuck me.
But Reddit agreed with you guys that he is the asshole. So feel good knowing that you are with the majority.
Just curiosity. Yay. Are most of the comments like she's definitely fucking Walter?
Yes. A lot of them were that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're the outliers.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you guys are probably the more wholesome outlook where it's just like platonic friends. You know, they like doing stuff together. So I enjoy that perspective.
Me and wholesome in a sentence don't go well together, bro.
Not often. Not often.
You're more wholesome than you think, I think. I think all three of us are more wholesome than we think.
Well, yeah. I think your puns are pretty wholesome. Puns are wholesome in general.
In general, puns are wholesome.
When you do it to psychologically fuck with Sean, that's where it's no longer wholesome.
It feels mean.
It is a targeted approach at times.
Yeah. And HR has talked to us many times.
The problem is John is HR.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the fucking problem, man.
It's like, get over it. Yeah. All right. Moving on to our second story. This is cross-posted on our subreddit by Perspective Ornery 287. Am I the asshole for making a real-life Pokédex of girls at my university?
Oh! No! This isn't what I thought it was. This is so much worse.
Yep.
Well, no, not worse than murdering rats, but definitely serial killer behavior.
It's up there.
It's
up there.
One of the creepiest things we've heard, I think.
It's creepier than the title implies, too, so.
He has, like, stats and shit, I'm sure. Oh.
We'll get into it.
So he's just compiling
I'm not gonna spoil it, but
let's get into it.
I think I know I know what you guys are gonna say, but is he the asshole, do you think?
Yes.
Absolutely yes.
No context needed. Creepy motherfucker.
On to the third.
Ad break, actually. All right, well, let's hop into it and see if you guys are correct. So, freshman year of college, I began working on this project casually. I like to keep notes of the women I talk to.
I hate that you said project. Like, this is something so important. I hate you. I hate you.
Yep.
Oh, God.
I take notes on the women I talk to about their favorite things, activities they enjoy, candy/gifts they like, sappy shit like that. I suck at remembering things like that, so I decided to keep a spreadsheet. Eventually, after getting a handful of entries, I offhandedly mentioned it to my friend group. One had the idea that I shared it with them so that we could all keep adding new entries as they caught different entries.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Y'all need to be on a watch list.
Group is fucking awful.
Y'all need to be registered.
Misogynistic thing you've ever heard. Holy.
Literally treating them like animals.
Exactly. That is exactly what it is. So this expanded further. Right now, about 40 guys have access to it.
Oh, no. Lock them all up.
And this
lock them all
will not surprise you. It's mainly the guys in my frat, and women featured are girls from different sororities. So it's it's the most frat boy thing I've ever fucking heard.
I'm sorry. My rage quelled for a little bit. John, what are you drinking?
Oh, my wife just got my wife, she made me strawberry matcha with homemade.
Oh my God, that looks fantastic.
It does look
milk
delicious.
Or crema on top.
That's damn.
Good. And she also made me, so you might see me on a break, but she also made me like a nice protein bowl I'm
my
gonna spill
goodness.
hot sauce on me. So, but I can't eat it because I don't want to be making munchy noises.
Mouth noises.
Yeah.
We
But
appreciate
it's
that.
steak, avocado, sour cream, and arugula.
I had a bowl of cereal tonight.
Homemade salsa.
The daily reminder that John is richer than the both of us combined.
My wife is rich.
God damn it. All right. So
Sorry.
we also added more information, such as where you should take them if you really want to impress them. We don't keep this information for any nefarious or scumbaggy reasons.
It is nefarious.
No, it is nefarious and scumbag
Yeah.
reasons.
You all 40 are scumbags.
Bro.
Yeah. It's just to help us know what to do if we want to impress certain girls. Like the original idea of this was to keep information like favorite color, so I didn't ever forget their favorite colors. Now it's helping a lot of guys. Somehow, a girl who was on the list found out and she was pissed off.
Oh,
She
good.
should.
Yeah. She was eventually able to trace it back to me, so I assume someone who was simping for her snitched when the Pokédex wasn't making them
You
the girls
suck.
like him.
That's all I need.
This
if
guy's
not-
a tater tot.
I heard
100%.
everything already that I needed to hear, but the fact that you're saying someone simped, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's just a
You're
classic
using simp
misogynistic
in
term.
an unironic way.
Right.
also
Unironic way.
When people use it as like an insult. It's like, oh, they cared about someone else. That makes them a simp. I don't understand why
And
that's
you
a
know-
negative.
I just want to add to that. Like, I hate it when people online say that shit when they're like, oh, you're such a simp. They're not going to fuck you, bro. And I hate
Yeah.
seeing that. And like, let's say on IG and there's a post about like the WNBA or something. There'd be like the
Yeah.
worst comments known to man. And then they're like, they're not going to fuck you, bro. Like, oh, you're such a simp. I'm like, bro, you just be a decent fucking human being and
Yeah.
stop treating
Yeah.
women differently.
It pisses me off. I agree.
It's funny
I
that
just-
all those
I'm
comments
angry.
would fucking get bodied playing basketball against any player from the
Right.
WNBA.
100%.
Name one.
They're called
Yeah.
a professional for a reason out here thinking like they're the shit when
And
all
you're
they
s-
had in their accomplishment is winning a goddamn championship in 2K.
They're like, I play in the gym every Tuesday nights and pick up ball. It's like you would get your ass kicked.
Absolutely.
Holy.
And I bet if some fucking guy listens to this shit and we say that, we're gonna get called simp. So
Yeah. I mean, we have been
We've been
simps.
called beta. We've been
yeah,
called a lot of
white
stuff.
knights.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
I can't be a
racist.
white knight, motherfucker. I'm brown as shit. I got melanin, baby.
Yeah. Oh God, it's disgusting. So she's
Whoa,
pissed
Josh
off.
just said melanin is disgusting.
Oh my god. Cancel.
You guys are the worst.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was too perfect. I'm sorry. Moving on.
So she's pissed off and she made it out to be a guide to hook up with women when it's most definitely not that. It's just to make impressing them on dates easier. That's it.
I feel like you're definitely wrong. I feel like everything you've said this whole entire time is wrong.
Yes. She made a big deal of this by telling so many girls around campus, and now they're all saying that by the start of fall semester, none of them will be visiting our fraternity or going to our parties. Now all the guys are mad at me when I'm not even the one who told the girls about the list, and they were also all using the list. I also think it's unfair to say the list was all about sex when it wasn't at all. Edit. I'm not a stalker. There was no information on it that could have been used to hurt someone, only to have a better date. And this isn't about sex. I never used it just for sex. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yes.
And this
You're
has
the
got to be the most
devil.
impressive. These guys, fuck. All 40 of you will not be anymore.
Not after fall semester.
Yeah,
No,
not
baby.
after this.
Holy.
Oh
Like that is
This
just
is wild.
to have that thought and then to execute it is just insane, dude.
And it's wild to do this thought and then also not be like, oh yeah, no one will use this for nefarious reasons.
Yeah. No one in
You're
a
a
group of
frat.
40 frat guys are going to do anything terrible with that, right? Yeah.
Not saying all fraternity is bad, but like I'm just saying
it's
it's
them.
yeah, there is. But you're in an environment where that's fucking like what's the word I'm looking for? It's encouraged to act that way. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like your intent might not be there, but the execution is horrible.
Well, the intent is 100% there as
Oh,
well.
it's there. It's there.
Like saying it's to impress women on dates is like,
It's not.
what do you
That's
mean?
the
Like,
neck beard way of saying how to hook up with this.
yeah.
woman.
And it's like, dude, just get to know the person. Treat them as a human being, not as a fucking Pokemon to catch, quote unquote, which is 100% what it means to hook up. Like that is 100% what you're meaning by saying catch.
They're trying to have like a DLC fucking pack saying like, here's a boost of how I get to know you a little better much quicker.
An XP boost. Yeah.
XP
Jesus.
boost. God damn.
Jesus. I'm glad
so-
that it got out and the whole fraternity is no longer fucking. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for them.
Yeah, I like that the girls called him out and they're, what would you call it? Like protesting it, I guess, by not.
Boycotting.
Yeah.
Boycotting. Because they're
I like it.
boycotting the boy.
God damn it. Not even what I meant. Just a regular Webster Merriam definition of boycott.
Well, it's perfect. Perfection that way.
Yeah. Turtles Can Fly 7 commented on this post and said, it's only okay to keep a list of interests like that when it's about your significant other. That's sweet. When it's about a list of multiple people, it's a total stalkery behavior and shows you can't even bother to try and get to know someone.
Yeah.
And I think that absolutely nails it on the head. So
That's how you know
disgusting.
they don't have social skills because they need a cheat sheet to fucking talk to women.
Yeah, dude. I just don't understand why it's so hard to, even like the thought of not wanting to get to know someone, just being like, I got to hit these check marks to catch this person is like so fucking insane that you wouldn't even want to try and get to know them. Just absolutely crazy. All right. With that, we're going to catch some ads.
Whoa.
I thought you were going to say we're going to catch a predator. I thought you were going.
Well, maybe.
That'd be a sick job. I would love to be the host of that and just fucking, but instead of like arresting them, just fucking fist fight like immediately, like, gotcha, bitch.
God.
I'd like both of
Justice.
you on that. I'd like John as like your sidekick who just throws in a pun every once in a while.
No, I'll be instigating. And Sean is the full on like hands on person. I'm just talking shit in the back.
Hands on might be the wrong word for that show, but we're going to hit an ad break and we'll be right back. All right, we are back from an ad break and from John's snack break. How was that
My
steak
God.
salad?
It was so good. I'm tempted to just pause myself and eat while I listen to you.
No. You have to react. What if I say something crazy like a guy's making a Pokédex of women?
But imagine
Damn.
how much funnier that'll be whenever he has a mouthful of salad and he's trying to unmute himself very quickly.
Yes. Missing
we-
that would be a mistake on my end.
Or he doesn't unmute himself and he's just silently screaming in the background. That could be funny too. All right, let's hop into the third story. Cross posted by Quirky Midscore Charge 7391. Am I the asshole for snapping when I found out that a guy saw my girlfriend naked?
Was it on accident?
Yeah.
Or
if
was
it's
it
an
a previous
accident, it's
relationship?
fine.
Relationship?
God,
Relationship?
fucking damn it, John.
What do you guys think?
I'm gonna go with yeah.
I'm gonna say yeah. Snapping is never a good. I don't know. There are justified snaps, like me
Unless
talking
you're a
about
turtle.
beating up predators, or unless you're a turtle.
That can fly.
That can fly. 7.
The goats.
Okay. I like your prediction. So let's hop into it and see. My 25 male girlfriend, Lydia, 23 female. Doesn't say girlfriend, it says girl. Which gives me red flag already.
We might be on the right track, John.
My
Yeah.
girl.
Lives with a roommate who has a boyfriend, Jeff. We gathered at their place last Friday for pizza. After a while, Jeff asked Lydia if she is still scared of being here alone the nights the roommate goes to his place and I can't come. Lydia has always had trouble with being alone at night, and most nights I stay on FaceTime with her till she falls asleep so she feels safer. The roommate laughs and says that if she hears a noise in the bathroom, at least it will be a ghost and not her locked in, passed out. Lydia just mouths, she'll explain it to me later. When we get to Lydia's
These
room...
are confusing sentences.
Yeah, they are. When we get to Lydia's room, I ask her to explain, and she tells me that this afternoon she wasn't feeling good and ended up fainting in the shower. So Jeff had to break down the door so that the roommate could get in and help her. She said that she already felt better and didn't want to tell me because I was going to be worried about nothing. I said that it wasn't nothing if she fainted and that I should be aware of these things to help her. She said that now it would just be a funny story about how Jeff broke the door down and the roommate had to cover her with the towel so they could come to the rescue of her naked body. That moment I saw red. I asked if Jeff had seen her naked and she said she couldn't be sure since she was unconscious, but my roommate said that he stood out of the bathroom until she was covered.
Sucks.
I asked if Lydia thought it was fair to me not to know that another guy had seen her naked, and she said he didn't actually see her naked and that it shouldn't matter since he was only helping. I shouted that she just said that she was unconscious and couldn't know if he saw her. She told me to be quiet or they would hear me, and I shouted that I didn't care, that a man just saw my girlfriend's body, and I had the right to be mad.
Dude.
Jeff and the roommate come in and then explain that he never saw anything. He just broke the lock and waited outside until the roommate gave him a clear. I said that I didn't believe him, and the roommate jumped to his defense, saying that she was right there, making sure the situation wasn't embarrassing so they could take proper care of Lydia without her feeling weird. I said if she was... God damn it, this guy cannot put sentences together.
It's not a surprise playing on how this story has gone out.
Yeah. I think he's saying here that he doesn't want to be a cuckold, which is wild.
How? Your girlfriend needed assistance.
Jeff then shouted at me, saying that I should respect his girlfriend and mine, who had spent the whole day saying that she was fine, but she still looked a bit pale. He said that he only did it because he cared about Lydia, that I was an asshole who didn't deserve any type of help. Hearing him say he cared about her was it for me.
Oh my God. I had a joke in my head that I was like, that's what really set him off. But that was just a joke.
It's the reality.
Ass, like, you saw her naked and you care about her? Like, dude, do you want her to just be unconscious in the shower with no help?
This is why
do you want her to die? Like, what?
Yeah.
What
this
are
is
you?
Why we promote therapy, because this is an insane thing to freak out about.
You get pissed off every time she goes to the gyno?
Yeah, probably.
A fucking doctor saw that? What?
Is it a male doctor?
Yeah.
Over the weekend, Lydia had to be admitted to the hospital as she didn't feel good again, and Jeff and the roommate prohibited me from seeing her, saying I didn't deserve her. Obviously, the whole hospital thing sucks, and I wish I was there for her, but I still think I was right. At this point, I'm not mad at Lydia anymore, just at Jeff.
You should be mad at yourself for typing this shit.
Why were you ever mad at Lydia?
Right.
She passed out.
Let me just faint on purpose in the bathroom and get locked in here.
Yeah.
And hoping someone will find me.
Insane. So before I ask you the question, they put an edit here. They say they agreed to let me see Lydia upon her asking them to. She said it would be best for us to be away from each other for a while. She is feeling better, and from what I hear, she is anemic, among other things, but going home this week. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't tell by her not wanting to see you. Yes.
I'm gonna promote you going to therapy. I'm also gonna try to ask you to go to night school and like take some courses on how to write.
Yeah, learn how to put sentence structures together. It's not that fucking hard. I also went through that story and tried to correct as many things as I could, and I still found stuff when I was reading it out loud, because I read it in my head, I'm like, oh, this makes sense, and then I read it out loud, I'm like, God damn it, this is nothing.
It could be a chance they're not from an English-speaking country.
I guess. Yeah.
Could be. We got to say that. There is a chance.
That's fair.
But there's also a chance that they
But he also sounds like an idiot, so I'm going to
either
assume
way,
that one.
we should roast assholes no matter what.
Yeah, this is exactly, you're right, John. This is why we promote therapy, because to not be able to express why you're angry, I get in that moment if you're like upset that she didn't tell you right away, but even then, that's not the right response to get mad. You should just be like, yeah, you should be like, I'm concerned about you. I just want to know so that if this happens again, I can be there for you. That should be your response, to comfort her and to establish a line of communication, not to be like
communication.
Yes, exactly. Not to be like, oh, the people that rescued you from fainting, fuck those people. I hate them. That's the opposite response that you should have. You should be thanking them for saving her, and, you know, following up with them maybe to be like, hey, like, can you guys keep an eye on her or something like that? It went like, just, I'm worried this will happen again. Concerned about her, not angry that some guy possibly saw her naked when he was rescuing her. Like, it's insane.
Because right now you're just treating her as a possession.
Yes.
You know, at some point, and you're just like, oh, I don't like it when other people get a hold of my things or like see my things and shit like that. And it's not a right response. I mean, the situation should supersede what happened. You know, like at the end of the day, you should care about her well-being. And the fact that she had to go get admitted to the hospital like a few days later, and that's her first reaction is to fucking like get mad at her for, you know, someone else seeing her naked. Yeah. If it wasn't for that person, that could have escalated to something else. Like they would be getting rushed to the hospital instead of having a chance of like admitting yourself to a hospital because you're not feeling well or some shit, you know? So you're a horrible person. You need to get help. Maybe take some anger management classes. There's better ways of expressing yourself instead of like snapping and being angry at people. Because your girlfriend is already going through it physically. You know, don't give her other reasons to be ill emotionally because you can't handle your shit. So
don't put more stress on her.
Right.
Reddit agreed with you guys. Asshole. Shadowcat MD commented and said he needs to learn that one is not entitled to their partner's body. She didn't show her body in a sexual way. You should get over yourself.
That's the part that's so weird is that there's like zero sexual. She passed out,
None.
dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Well, it's
zero.
like you said. It's like you joked, Sean. You're like, if her doctor saw her naked, would he get mad? It's
get
like
mad?
that's the
Yeah.
exact same situation. It's not a sexual connotation with this. It's a medical emergency or a medical checkup or just anything that's not sexual, and you're just freaking out over it. And I 100% believe when you said if the doctor was a male, would he freak out? And he would. He would probably.
It's like, why didn't you request for a woman doctor or something?
Yeah, he's probably do some bullshit like that.
Insane.
Disgusting. All right, moving on to our fourth story. And this one is from our Google Forms by someone who wants to go by Redfish. So trigger warning for this upcoming story for SA as well as incest. And what else would you guys say?
Unaliving.
Assault, general assault. Oh, and discussion of unaliving. So if you want to skip this, the timestamps are down below. If on YouTube, you can see it when you're scrubbing. But yeah, skip the story if any of those will affect you. Am I the asshole for calling my date childish and insane?
I'll say no. There's a lot of reasons for you to call your date that. And so we've heard many times. Also,
Yes.
this sounds like a what is it? Dating horror stories? The thing that you
Disaster
like?
date.
Disaster
It's a
dates. There
loophole.
it is.
It's a loophole because they did say that they did say that it could be under both. And I said, I will take that one. That's mine now.
Yeah, you definitely don't have enough. You definitely don't have enough.
Jerk.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of our fucking cross posts is, am I the asshole? And I'm like, damn it, I gotta find my own sometime.
I got to
I am
work.
the asshole.
You are the asshole for that. How dare you? We need to start taking back from the white man, Sean. Like, we need a revolt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Do it.
Yeah.
About that.
All right. So at the time of this story, I was 20, and in full honesty, I don't remember how old this guy was. We met on Bumble and decided to go out for a date the next day as he was heading back to his college town that same week. This was our first date. He texted me beforehand asking me if he could kiss me when he picked me up. I told him no, as it was our first time we were going to meet each other. He comes to the door, shakes my father's hand, and has the whole gentleman act. The entire drive to the restaurant, he kept saying how he'd unalive himself if he had to live in my small town. I've lived in the
What?
same town, same neighborhood, same house my entire life. What the fuck? All I was thinking was, I haven't been on a date since early 2020. This happened late 2021. This must be first date nervousness, right? He was just nervous. This can't get much worse, can it?
It will, huh?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
We get to the restaurant and he immediately asks if I want to get in the back seat.
Before dinner?
implying-
You trying to
before
mac
dinner.
before the snack, baby? Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Well,
You
that's-
gotta feed her first.
That's twice he's asked that.
Holy.
is
On a first date is
Crazy.
wild. I can imagine,
Yeah, it
if this is a long-term relationship and you're like, all right, before we're bloated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
that's-
know what you're saying.
That's the true way is do that before you go to dinner.
Yeah.
But on a first date,
Let me
first
eat
time you're
before dinner.
meeting somebody.
Absolutely insane.
Wild. Insane.
The restaurant is a busy family place. It's cheap, but has good food and good times. Immediately, I shut him down and he apologizes and says, I'm sorry, but you're just so beautiful. I just want to kiss you. I should have kept my ass home, she says in brackets. This is where I realize he's childish. We order and we got our food. I immediately started eating as I absolutely love the food at this said restaurant. I look up from cutting my food and see him with his fingers in his mouth. A few seconds later, he pops out a cherry tomato from his mouth and places it on his napkin he'd placed in between our plates.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I hate cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, I think
So,
that's just
But
proving her
you
point that
also
he's childish.
say that you are childish with your food.
when it comes to certain foods, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do better, guys.
Hey, you're
does
eating
this-
arugula. You're eating arugula.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Big
Jen.
stuff.
Something green on my plate for once.
He does this several more times, even with a piece of lettuce. I told
Okay,
him to
that's-
just send it back if he didn't like it. He says, no, I'm fine. I won't send it back now that I've licked it.
Why would you lick lettuce?
At this point, all the tables and booths around us are watching him do this.
That's so
After
embarrassing.
dinner, as we walked out, I tried to pay for the meal, but he insisted. He forcefully kisses me yet again.
Oh, bro.
I don't know
Wait,
if you
yet
mentioned the
again?
first time. I don't know if you mentioned the first time, unless I skipped it, but that's disgusting. He decided the date wasn't over, so we drove around my town. He told me a story about some traumatic thing that happened to him, which I will not reveal, but I will reveal that he openly admitted to wanting to F his own mother.
Yo.
No. What? That's like 2 trigger warnings. What the fuck?
I don't know if that's a trigger warning. That's just
incest.
weird. Okay, yeah, true.
That is incest.
That's true. I didn't know if that was a trigger warning, to be fair.
I mean, it should be.
Yeah, you're right. I cut the date short by saying I had a curfew and needed to get home to my mom. After the date, he profusely apologized about his behavior.
Don't talk about your
saying
mom in front of this guy.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'll try to smash.
Yeah.
This ain't young gravy.
He's like, this is my fantasy. Jesus Christ.
What a reference, Josh.
He profusely apologized about his behavior, saying that he hadn't been on a date in years and was dealing with a lot of mental issues, which I totally understand.
Get therapy. Don't go on dates.
Yeah, don't trauma dump on first dates.
Yeah,
That's
don't
fucked up.
definitely
that.
He begged me for another date, which practically went over the same, but way worse. Again, he mentioned how he'd unalive himself if he had to live in this stupid ass town. Okay, dude, thanks for that. The restaurant part went okay, better than the night before, aka this time he actually talked to me and tried to get to know me. But it wasn't until we were heading back to my house that he decided to say the most outlandish shit I have ever heard.
Uh-oh.
Wait,
said-
before you say,
Can we guess?
Oh, yeah, guess.
before you say, the fact that she's saying this is the most outlandish shit, and not even a mere 24 hours ago, he said he wanted to fuck his own mother,
Yeah.
makes me think, I don't know if anybody is ready to hear what she's about to say. Because that wasn't the wildest shit you've ever heard?
It's not.
What you're about to hear is the wildest shit?
Trust me, it is not.
Do you have a guess?
I honestly cannot guess, because he literally said he wanted to fuck his mother, and then he says something wilder.
That's where I'm gonna go with this. I think he wants a threesome with his mom.
Sean, what's your guess?
I don't know. I'll go. He wants a threesome with your mom. He wants you and your own mother.
Okay.
Because I honestly don't know what the fuck could be worse than what he already said.
Oh, I promise you this is weird. Well, I don't know. It's worse in different ways, I guess. So he decided to say the most outlandish shit I've ever heard. He said, quote, I want you to stop taking birth control. I want you to come live with me at his college, and I want to get you pregnant. You look so hot pregnant. He then screamed at me to stop taking my birth control, to which I called him insane.
This is the...
Dude, this is the
is the
same guy
second
that
date.
writes the fucking I want a submissive wife who blah blah blah. This is the
Right.
weird neckbeard
Here
guy.
are
This
my
is,
demands.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So
He honestly thought he could probably get bold as fuck, because he was like, I told this girl that I wanted to fuck my mom, and she still gave
And
me a
she still
second
wanted
date.
a second date with me, you're right?
I mean, wild that you
I'm
did give him a
unstoppable.
second date.
I'm unstoppable.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so let's get through this. So we got to my house before I got out. I told him, absolutely do not ever fucking reach out to me again.
Hell
delete
yes.
my number, delete
Hell
my
yes.
social media.
You gave him a third date.
You're extremely childish. You sucked the dressing off of a piece of lettuce. You called yourself insane. You called yourself insane the other night, and I full-heartedly agree with you. You're insane. Get the fuck off my property now. He left, and I never saw him again. The last thing I heard about him is that he's in jail for publicly exposing himself. And I'm not going to say the last part, but then he also tried to light himself on fire.
Yeah, he definitely needs therapy. He needs help. He needs help for sure. For sure. He needs
Absolutely. Absolutely,
Damn.
he does.
Like,
Yo, this is a
it's-
listener?
Yes. Also, am I the asshole?
You are very, very kind for just assuming all of this was just. I assume that you thought the whole first date was just first date jitters. So maybe you're like, I'll give him a second chance. And
I guess.
heart of gold for that. But yeah, I think after everything that you went through during those first 2 dates, I would have absolutely gone off as well. Hindsight's 2020. You know, you can't be his therapist or whatever. He needs help. He needs help.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Not only are you kind, I think you're very brave. I would have been freaked the fuck out.
I would have been scared as fuck.
First go
Yeah.
around. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not doing this shit again.
I would have been very afraid.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And like the second date already kind of has a reminiscent of the first date. The first thing he said was, "I want to unalive myself if I'm gonna be in this town for very long," or some shit like that. If I lived here,
Yeah.
I would have been like, "Oh, I'm calling an Uber, turn around."
Well, I plan on never leaving this town, is what he just said, and then just left his ass. Yeah.
I feel like if the first thing I hear when I jump into somebody's car is them making an unalive joke while they're driving, I'm like, you have to stop the car, I think.
Yeah, not
I think
great.
you have to. I feel like I'll meet you at the restaurant, but I'm not riding in this car that you're driving.
No, I'm going home, I think, at that point. You know, you need to work on yourself. Yeah, you need to work on yourself before you go on dates, my guy.
And hopefully he's like hopefully they're not in America and he has like a better jail than American jail and he's getting therapy. Because I know, some countries do it the right way. So
Yeah.
hopefully he's getting the help that he
Not
needs in
Canada.
there. Canada's also pretty bad.
We are also pretty bad with our jail system. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, hopefully he gets the help he needs in jail and doesn't want to have sex with his own mother anymore. That's where we're going to leave that story.
This is like the final boss of Does This Guy Fuck?
does
The big boss.
Does this guy fuck?
No.
All right, on to the final story, my guys. This one's cross-posted by the GOAT. Turtles Can Fly 7. Am I the asshole for showing up at my ex's wedding in a pretty dress?
I mean, if you were invited, you were invited.
Fair enough.
If you're crashing, then you're an asshole. Hate to say it.
Okay.
Hate to say it. Weddings are stressful.
They are. They're Sean's trigger. That is your trigger, Sean. You always usually side with the wedding party.
Yeah.
All right, so my ex and I had a peaceful divorce. We co-parent with our 3 children together, and there hasn't been any issues. My ex is getting married to Stephanie. I like Stephanie. She's been great with my kids and makes my ex happy. My ex invited me to their wedding, and I was happy for him. His reasoning was that it was my day with the kids, so that it made sense for me to come. When I arrived at the wedding, Stephanie thanked me for dropping the kids off and brushed me off. We never had any issues before. I explained that I was going to stay for the reception, and she was very upset. I was confused because I assumed she knew I would be in attendance. It turned out that she didn't consider that I would actually accept the invitation. I told her that I was invited, and since I took a 2-hour drive, I would be staying for the entire duration. She didn't like this response. Stephanie asked me to leave, and I stood my ground. She went on to complain about my dress upstaging hers. My ex and former mother-in-law helped to calm her down, and the wedding shortly began.
Yeah, wait, did they have RSVPs or something? Did they not?
Right.
How are you so shocked?
Stephanie sounds fake as fuck.
Potentially.
Yeah, I'm not with the wedding people so far.
I thought that was the end of it, but later in a private, Stephanie accused me of trying to ruin her special day. She's convinced that I wanted to show off and make the wedding about my divorce. She said it was rude of me not to leave after the bride requested it because it was her special day. I told her that I'm not responsible for her insecurities and once again reminded her that I have no interest in stealing my ex back. So am I the asshole?
No.
And I have a link.
I'm gonna go with no.
I have a link to what they say the dress looked like. And then you guys can reevaluate.
If this is like some see-through, that's a perfectly fine. That's a normal
fine.
dress.
And it's red.
What the fuck? I mean, it's a gorgeous dress, but it's not like fucking Lil' Kim at the VMAs where it's like just a pasty. You know what I mean? Like that's a dress.
Stephanie tripping, bro.
You guys might be in the minority here. So I'll go to read some of the comments, but you guys are saying not the asshole so far, right?
Yeah, not the asshole.
Is everybody like that dress is too sexy?
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of people are saying that dress.
It's like a ball gown.
That looks very normal wedding-ish thing to me.
This may be a male like not understanding what the difference between dresses are because a lot of people are like the dress is unacceptable. Most people commenting are saying it's unacceptable.
Really?
So maybe
what
maybe because it's like
is this?
this is
Am I the
ours.
asshole? This is ours?
What? This is ours. People are saying, yeah. Which I mean, also the Am I the Asshole subreddit agreed they're the asshole.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, we're totally off the mark on this one.
So apparently, what it is it's literally like a red wedding dress. It's kind of like it's a wedding dress, but just a different color, which is not okay to do.
Looks plain to me.
Well, I mean,
is it like lace and stuff?
Yeah, it has lace and stuff.
Oh.
Might have been hard to
Okay.
see.
I mean, that's not great. Maybe I'm just oblivious, but I mean, yeah.
I think
don't
two things
know.
can be true. I think the husband didn't make it clear that you were going to be there. He's kind of the asshole.
For sure.
But if the bride was immediately like, hey, I'd prefer you not be there, like, you should probably respect that. I mean, it sucks, but it's also like, it is her wedding, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And then on top of that, if I'm assuming what everyone is saying is correct, this wedding dress is over the line, then yeah, you're 100% the asshole for trying to upstage her very clearly. So I have the hindsight. I also probably would have taken your side, but I also don't know dresses that well. So
Maybe I don't know dress etiquette.
Same.
You know what I mean? Maybe
Maybe
there
'cause
is
I
like unspoken rules about wedding dresses besides like don't wear white. I don't know.
That's
You know
all
what
I
mean?
know, to be honest.
Yeah, all I know is don't wear white. So maybe there are other unspoken rules, like you're not supposed to be strapless, or you're not supposed to wear like I guess it's a long gown. So maybe you're not supposed to wear like a long gown that.
And
like,
it was lace, and it did look like a wedding dress if it was in white. So
Oh. Maybe I just don't look at anyone
didn't
else but
get
my
big-
wife during that day. So that's probably why.
fair enough.
I didn't get big wedding dress vibes, but maybe we're not seeing like super detail. It's just long
Yeah.
and lace. I feel like there are so many fucking different types of wedding dresses and different styles.
Yeah, there are.
Honestly, anything could be a wedding dress, But
Yeah.
I don't know. Me personally, maybe as not the bride and not a bride, it's hard for us to say that that's unacceptable. or not.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, because if I saw somebody wearing that at my wedding, I'd be like, "Oh, cool, styling out." You know what I mean? Like, it's not like
Your wife's pissed off.
obviously, if my wife is pissed off, I'll be like, "You gotta go."
Hey,
you know
yo,
what I mean?
get out of here.
Yeah, but if I just saw somebody wearing that, I would be like, "Oh, cool," whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put it on the screen for YouTube, and then maybe I'll link it in the show notes as well if people listening want to check it out. Give us your thoughts. I genuinely want to know.
Yeah, we're
because
never like
look
mad
what I'm
about
wearing.
being.
Look what I wear every week. I'm not a fashionable person, so I don't understand fashion.
I'm with you
just
on
in
that,
general
Josh.
about being
Yeah.
wrong about these things, like admitting if we're wrong. So truly, we don't know what we don't
Yes.
know. You know what I mean?
Honestly, at the end of the day, it's an opinion. For us too, Sean, who's been there, we don't see any fault in it. Like I personally was like how is this controversial or like
Right.
Yeah, I was expecting some fucking like see-through.
I thought it was gonna
all
be like
mesh or some crazy.
Lil Kim type of shit, like when one titty's hanging out type of situation.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
thought-
Lil Kim at the VMAs.
yeah.
But I will say this. You did bring up a point I didn't even think about. She was like, I don't know if she ever explicitly said you should leave or if she just looked upset. But I guess either way, if you see an upset bride and you're the cause of it, you should probably do something. But also, are you watching the kids because it's your day for the kids? It's a complex scenario. I guess the grandparents could watch the kids because they're there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what I would assume.
All of it comes down to is like, it sounds like it was bad communication from all sides of the party.
Communication.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Yeah, I would say at a minimum, the ex-husband is an asshole for not communicating to both sides of what the expectations should be. And then if the jest is as offensive as it is, and I mean, the bride clearly asked you to leave. Yeah. You should have just left. You were
just
kind of an
left.
asshole for not.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I stand by, I don't think, and this is a man. I feel like I'm mansplaining at this point. But yeah, I think the dress is fine. But I do think you are the asshole for choosing to stay when clearly you're ruining the vibe.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I changed my mind due to the
Rethinking the circumstance.
yeah, and then hearing from the Wikimaniacs, them giving their
Absolutely.
point. And I'm like, oh, that does make sense.
It's a learning thing. So definitely let us know in the comments and let us know what your take is on the dress.
Now I'm trying to wonder like what I could wear at a wedding that would upstage a husband. Like what is the equivalent of a
Crotchless
man
pants.
doing?
Like the
There it is.
tightest slacks that you can tell where it's leaning.
A tight gray suit because they
Yes.
say gray sweats are the sluttiest men piece of clothing.
Yeah, baggy
I got nothing to
sweatpants.
prove on that one. It's
Or just
like,
straight up a gray sweatsuit, a suit made out of sweatpant material.
Oh, that
Offensive
sounds
to the
comfy
eyes.
as fuck.
And then
God damn.
I get sad wearing gray sweats. I'm like, not that much of an imprint.
God damn it. All right.
Sad.
That is it for this episode. Wikimaniacs, what did you think? Were these people assholes? Let us know in the comments down below.
if you're not a patron, let it be known the last fucking Patreon story
Wild.
was anger inducing.
Yeah. Many of the OGs from the first wave of new listeners will remember that story,
know.
a similar story. So definitely go check it out on patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network. Good plug, Sean. If you want to hear more, please consider subscribing to the show and giving us a rating and review on whatever platform you are on, or you can share the podcast with a friend. Don't forget you can submit your own Am I the Asshole stories to our subreddit or to our Google Forms. All the links are in the show notes. And thank you, Sean and John, for coming on today and giving your takes. Thank you, Wikimaniacs.
I can finally eat.
You can finally eat, John. We'll leave you alone. Thank you, Wikimaniacs, for another amazing episode. And we will see you guys on Monday. Bye.
Later.
Love you.
Expert in fucking, I don't know.
Great power.
For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean coming at